Hey Sioux Falls, Shannon Austin here on the October episode of Public Works Update. Now, while it is October, we still have a lot of construction going on. We welcome Wes Phillips, who is our streets principal engineer. Wes, you are still playing havoc with people's commute to work.
Yes, it started getting a little cooler, but we've still got a lot of projects yet to do.
Yeah, great. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the two projects on the west side of the city. So I believe there's something going on West 26th Street. Can you tell our viewers a little bit about that?
Yep, West 26th Street, we've got a street that's about 20 years old there, and so we want to do a mill and overlay project. But before we do that, we're going to repair some curbs and the ADA ramps and make sure that is all in good shape. So this fall, we're doing those curb repairs.
Okay.
And then next year, we'll come back with a mill and overlay project.
So that's a pretty typical process, right? You guys typically do the curb and gutter the year before?
Yep, and this is pretty similar. The main difference here is, it's a busier street, so we're going to close the outside lanes when we're doing the work. Should be about a month's worth of work out there, and then by the end of October should be wrapping up.
Okay, so there certainly is some connections to neighborhoods. When you have it narrowed down to one lane, will you allow left turns at all of those neighborhood streets or not?
Yep, so we try to allow left turns where we can because that does help with the traffic congestion, but there is work, throughout the whole length, so at some points we wouldn't be able to do that either.
Okay, so that project would be basically all of September, October, right?
Yep, it should be most of October, wrapping up towards the end of October.
Okay, all right. So then another project that I recently heard about was North Marion Road. So tell us a little bit about that one.
So North Marion Road is an older rural section road, so it's got ditches, and the surface is getting a little tired there. Eventually we want to expand that to have more lanes with sidewalks on it, but we're not quite to the traffic level there yet. So we want to just buy a little more time by doing a mill and overlay on that section, and so. Here in the next week, streets will be starting out on that project. We'll close it all down to mill.
Okay.
But then this one will be a little different in that when we're not working, we'll open it back up because there's a lot of little neighborhoods off of Marion Road that don't have great access anywhere else. So during the times when we have it closed, they'll have to kind of sneak through their neighborhood to the nearest side street. But then when we're not working, we'll open it back up.
Okay, so you said is our street team doing the work?
Yep, so our street team is doing the milling and the paving with help of a mill from a contractor.
Okay.
But another thing to note is there are some businesses up near University Village, and those, we will be able to keep people getting to those businesses, but it'll be a little more challenging. You'll have to come from the south, from Benson, or from the north, depending on where we're working at the time. So you can get there. It just might be a little more challenging. We're working with them to get it out to their customers as well.
Okay, so that section of Marion Road is from Benson Road or from Maple Street all the way up
Maple
north.
up to 60th, so 2 miles. And this one's a little different. We're really not trying. We're doing an interim improvement here, so we're gonna only mill the driving lanes.
Oh, okay.
So
something different.
The shoulders are gonna stay the way they're at. They're okay. We don't drive on the shoulders, so they'll stay the way we are. Save a little bit of money just by milling and paving in the through lanes, and then eventually we'll be back with a larger project to add more lanes and sidewalks, and that'll be a great future project to look forward to.
I did take a peek at the recently approved 2026 to 2030 capital improvement program, and I did see Marion Road was in the out years, so something to look forward to maybe in that 29, 2030.
It's definitely needed,
yeah.
And the traffic just only grows out there with Jefferson Heights and the new houses out there.
And so the section that we would construct then on Marion Road would be very similar then from Madison to Maple Street, right? With the 4 lanes with the median and side path?
It'd probably look pretty similar to what you've got in front of Jefferson now that we constructed in the last 5 years or so. I'd expect that to continue north and be a really nice improvement in the future there.
All right, well, very good. Well, thank you so much for your time today. And I suppose these projects are really going to test a lot of our drivers' patience.
We've got a little more paving to do yet this fall before we're done for the winter, but we always ask for patience. We try to make it as easy as possible for our drivers, but at the end of the day, we're working on the road, and you've got to you got to have lane closures to get
Yep.
that done.
Right on. Okay, well, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Well, we are out here on South Veterans Parkway by the Burlington Northern Overpass. We welcome Pat, our local expert. So we are very high up today, right at where the bridge is going to be. And it's exciting to actually start to see what kind of the bridge we're going to have. And this just looks exactly like what we had on 85th Street, but it's just nice to see that progress.
Yeah, as you can see, we got the piling all completed now, so we're ready for the girders to come. Sounds like first part of October, we're going to start seeing the girders start coming in. So,
And then it'll really start shaping up quickly, won't
and then
it?
people actually start seeing a bridge
Yeah.
forming. It's not just 2 piles of dirt anymore. So.
Yeah, so how many girders have to be placed?
11 total.
Wow.
So,
And so then for those neighbors that live adjacent to the corridor, that all the noisy stuff with the driving of the pile, that's done, right?
correct. Driving to the piling, the noisy stuff is done. The girders will take a little jimmying because they come in 3 pieces, so they got to put them together as they're putting them up. So
Yeah.
it'll be a little bit slower of a process. If you remember on 85th Street, the big concrete ones came in one big chunk. These will come in 3 different chunks because they're steel. So
Okay, these are okay. So they look differently than the 85th Street
correct.
one.
Yep, the ones over there are concrete. These will be steel girders. So.
And do you know why we use the different types of girders?
It all has to do with lengths of bridges and how long the spans are and that
Okay.
type of stuff.
So this is probably a pretty short
It's
span.
a shorter
'cause
one, so they
just-
like to use the steel ones.
Okay,
Yep.
very
Yep.
good. Just hopping over the railroad tracks. Okay, so the last time you and I talked, we had all of the grade done on the west side of the Burlington Northern Overpass, but then on the east side, they were still working on grading. So are they still grading then from the railroad tracks all the way over to Sycamore?
Yeah, so right now our contractor is, for the most part, is concentrating on storm sewer.
Okay,
But as he's finishing up storm sewer, they're going to finish grading all their dirt, and they're going to start graveling. So
Okay.
you're going to see a kind of a mixture of things happening out here. You're going to see, in some areas, you're going to see them digging holes for the storm sewer. And in some other areas, you're going to see, like from Cliff Avenue up to the bridge here, well, not all the way to the bridge, but a certain portion of that, you'll see the pink gravel start coming in and looking like a road.
okay. So then, but then that'll be it for this year.
The
then,
winter,
right?
yeah.
Okay.
We just hopefully get everything covered with gravel for the winter.
Okay, so then talk to me a little bit about Sycamore. There's a lot of work going on Sycamore right now. It looks like he's grading. What's going on Sycamore?
Yeah, so on Sycamore Avenue, the contractor's actively working down there on getting the old road and sub base and everything, and the ditches cleared out, and all the silty bad material kind of moved out of there, and a good clay base brought back in to start building that roadway up down
Okay,
there.
and so remind our viewers what we're building along Sycamore, because it's not going to be a full build out, right? It's just
Right, very true. We'll put new asphalt in there. It'll tie into veterans
Yep.
in the long run, but
So-
we'll have storm sewer and everything like that type of
Okay.
stuff put into there.
But it'll be a nice addition because then it'll be paved like from 69th Street to Veterans, but it just won't be the full urban section.
Correct.
Yet. Yeah. Okay.
Correct.
Much different than Southeastern. So talk to me a little bit about Southeastern. So is Southeastern, all of the underground utilities are done, and will they start paving that now or not?
Nope. The Southeastern Avenue, we're going to leave it as gravel for the winter.
Okay.
The reason being is we can't start putting curb and gutter and stuff into there. It's the gravel for the most part is in, but we need to get a lot of dirt across that intersection yet
Okay.
from the borrow pit here by the bridge across that intersection. So if we put the asphalt in there, we just destroy it.
Okay.
So we're holding off on that until next year.
Okay.
But the gravel for the most part is all in except for right across Veterans Parkway itself.
Okay, so then Sycamore and Southeastern, though, when will you open them back up, those two roads back up then to traffic?
Yeah, as soon as we get done down there with everything that we need to get done for the winter, we'll open them back up for the winter.
So likely before Thanksgiving, do you think?
Yeah, it's going to be somewhere right in there probably.
Okay.
Yep.
And then we'll close it again next spring.
Correct.
Okay.
But it'll be shorter closures in the next year,
Okay.
just to get our work done, just to get the concrete and the permanent paving in.
Okay. Well, we definitely are going to stop back out when you start placing those girders, so give us a call.
Yeah, they're going to be big. They're going to be tall. They're going to be like 5 or 6 foot tall. So they'll
Nice.
be big and tall girders. So.
Awesome. Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for your time today.
Yeah, anytime.
Well, we are here on Arrowhead Parkway and Veterans Parkway, and yay, finally paving!
Yes.
So, talk to me a little bit about where, when, and how much more.
Yeah. So they've paved 2 lanes of the westbound lanes, and they're going to turn right around next week and pave 2 lanes of the eastbound lanes.
Nice.
And then fill in some of the middle pieces.
Okay, so theoretically, we'll have a driving surface by the end of or mid to late October then?
Yes.
Okay, very good. So that's great news, but don't get my hopes up too soon because we're probably not going to drive on it for a few more months. I mean, November or
Probably
when?
November.
Okay. So will that be all the paving that they're going to be doing then for the rest of this year?
You know, they're maybe going to try to pave some of the south half of Veterans here yet this year. We still have to finish the box culverts, so
Okay.
that'll be dependent on when those get done.
Okay. So, yeah, let's talk a little bit about the box culverts, which are the pedestrian underpasses.
Yep.
There's one left or two left to be done?
So they're working on the half of two of them.
Okay.
So the south half, or the south side of Arrowhead Parkway, they're working on half of that one, and the north side of Arrowhead Parkway, they're working on half of that one.
Sure, because they have to come back next year
Yep.
to do that. Okay. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. So then, what other work will have to be done before the snow flies?
Yeah. We'll have some temporary transition pavement that's going to come. So that'll be asphalt work.
Okay.
That'll come a little bit later. Still determining where that's going to happen.
Okay.
And then they're wrapping up some utilities. They'll do a little bit more grading work. Prepping for the winter.
So
That's not
a lot. But
not a lot.
But we'll still have, our goal though is still to get east-west flow through the intersection before the snow flies, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
And then that's it, basically.
Right. So
Okay.
we'll have one lane in each direction, north-south on Veterans. That'll continue. And we'll have one lane in each direction, east-west on Arrowhead.
Okay, so our drivers are still going to have a pinch point.
Yep.
And the detour will still be 41st Street.
Yep.
Right? And so, but we'll just be able to go through.
Yes.
Okay. So all of the asphalt paving though on Hine Avenue is done.
Yes.
Right? Okay. And then, well, I guess that's it then.
Yeah. They're hoping to pave the asphalt on the frontage road. So the old Highway 42 alignment
Sure. Yep.
remains a frontage road for access to the residences on the south side.
Okay.
So they're hoping to pave that in the next week or so.
And that has a cul-de-sac at the end of it, doesn't it?
It does, yes.
Okay. Okay. So then, is there any planned public meetings or anything in the next, before we start construction then next year? Or are we just going to try to keep people educated by the website?
We are going to do one before construction next year.
Okay.
Just to give a big refresh
Yeah.
on where we are and what traffic's going to be like. And
Yeah. Well, that's good.
Phasing.
Because we may have new people that move to town and they won't have
Exactly.
anything to
Right.
know about it. So, okay, good. So that is yet to be planned yet.
yep, planning it. I don't know if it'll be a virtual meeting or an in-person meeting, or
Okay.
if we'll just do a bunch of lead up to construction next year.
Yeah, we have had such good luck with just pre-recording the messages and then
Right.
putting that on our website. So we could certainly do that
Yeah.
too, and people could view it at their own leisure.
Right.
So, well, we probably have to coordinate with the contractor, I
Yep.
suppose. Okay, very good. All right, well, not much more to talk about. It's great to see concrete, though.
It is. Yes.
Very good. Well, thank you so much, and we'll probably come back one more time before Thanksgiving, and just see what you're doing.
Awesome.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Shannon.
Well, our last stop today is out here on East Rice Street and to the west of Veterans Parkway. We welcome Dan Whipple, who's in our streets team. Dan, you're creating a lot of havoc for our East Side drivers.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about what is going on Rice Street.
So on Rice Street right now, we're working on a mill and overlay.
Okay.
We're doing the segment between Cleveland Avenue up to about TJN, which is probably about 2,000 feet short
Okay.
of Veterans Parkway. Should be a great upgrade. You know, it's been needing it for probably the last 5
Yeah, it's
years.
been
so we're
pretty
finally-
tough.
Yeah. As part of it, we're also doing some new striping layout with it,
Okay.
which will include some widened bike lanes and better, hopefully, bicycle travel through the
Great.
area.
So earlier this summer, there was work closer to Veterans Parkway. What was that?
Yeah, so the county did a slurry seal from the section where we're ending to the other side of Veterans along Rice Street. So coordination with that project earlier this year, so we were able to resurface that section, which will just be a benefit for the whole project.
Okay, because that section was rebuilt with Veterans Parkway, so it wasn't in bad a shape as this current portion is,
Correct. We were probably about the 10-year mark on that overlay from
Okay.
when it was constructed, so it was about time for a slurry seal, which is a treatment to the top surface just to extend the life of the asphalt without
Okay.
having to do mill and overlay.
So the section that we're overlaying now, when was the last time we were out here doing an overlay?
Ooh, I think it was early 2000s was
Okay.
the last overlay we had done in this. We have done a lot of patching, mastic, crack sealing out
Sure.
on this section, slurry sealing, but we have not done a mill and overlay in over 20 years on
Okay.
this section.
So this section was identified in the Rice Holly corridor study as eventually widening, but the widening isn't going to come probably, I would say, for another 10 to 15 years. Will this overlay keep us up to that time frame that finally then we'll need additional lanes?
Yeah, if we stick to that time frame, we should be able to maintain this overlay. It'll
Okay.
see other treatments. It'll see some potential slurry or, like you say, some crack sealing throughout
Yeah.
the years. But we should be able to maintain it to that point.
Okay. Has it been hard to maintain traffic to all of the industrial uses along the corridor?
During the project, yeah, there is. At this point, we haven't had too many troubles because we haven't started paving. Next week, we're starting paving, and that will see a bigger impact to them. They'll be sharing one side of the road or one half of the road, and
Yeah.
there's a fair amount of traffic that comes in and out of there.
But the road is detoured to where though? Where does the Rice Street detour currently?
The detour takes you from Veterans. If you're coming on Rice to Veterans, you'll go up to 60th Street North and over to Cliff and back down to Rice.
So a very simple detour.
Yes, correct.
And even for those folks that don't like the trains, and when then they see a train, that's another nice little detour. So okay, so project will be completed by end of October, do you think?
Our goal is 2 weeks from today, or 2 weeks from today, which would be October 10th.
Okay.
Next week, we're hoping to see most of the paving go down, and then the following week should be the striping.
Okay, so if we do get into monsoon seasons, that
Yeah.
could certainly push that back. But the permanent striping will also, you'll try to stripe it before we open it back up to traffic.
Correct.
And
Yep.
so we just want drivers to stay alert then, because as you said, we are changing the striping a little bit and making it, better for the bikes as well as the drivers along there.
Yeah, correct. And we'll see more of what we've seen on the east end of this project, where it was head-to-head traffic up there. That'll go through most of the corridor
Oh,
now.
okay, good. So that'll probably also calm the traffic a little bit.
Yeah, yep,
Great.
exactly.
All right, well, very good. Well, thank you so much for your time today.
Yep, thank you, Shannon.
Well, as you can see, drivers, we still got a lot of construction left to do before the snow flies. Keep in touch with all of our projects on siouxfalls.gov/construction. Until next time, I'll see you on the streets.